the formerly sort of cordial relationship we had with China has taken a really dark turn in recent months, hasn't it? There's been a number of diplomatic issues. There's certainly been tensions. There's all those phone calls not being returned from our ministers. And it's got a lot of people asking, has war with China begun already? Well, let's bring in one man who's asking that question, New South Wales Senator, retired General Jim Molan from Canberra. All right, you're one of the few blokes in the parliament that's actually seen war up close and personal when you led the Allied troops in the Middle East. Do you reckon we really are at war with China today, Jim Molan?
Peter, good evening and thank you. I'm actually in beautiful Terrigal, in a hotel room in Terrigal this evening. But
stop teasing us. Stop teasing us.
It is beautiful. It's better than being in Canberra. But that's a very serious question you ask. And I think the situation we're in at the moment is that the assertiveness, no, the aggressiveness of China and China's understanding of the grey zone, which is the fact that there is no difference between competition and conflict, is what we've got to face. So everything that we see, even down to today, 2 journalists sneaking back to Australia because they were going to be lent on by Chinese police, may have disappeared into the Chinese system, and that's the least of our problems. Peter, I think that we have a real problem on our hands. If you asked any Australian what they think characterises the Australian experience of war over the last 100 years, they'd probably say something nice like the Anzac spirit. I totally disagree with that, and it's very important at the moment that we realise it. I reckon the Australian experience of war over 100 years has been unpreparedness, and not just unpreparedness in itself, but unpreparedness which is then overcome by the Anzac spirit. We've made a great start with this government. Scott Morrison's announcement of a strategic update, I never thought I would see it, and I told him that. $270 billion for the ADF over the next 10 years is a great start. The question I have is if the ADF needs $270 billion over the next 10 years to prepare for a deteriorating strategic environment, what does the rest of the country need? The national security, you need a full nation to defend a nation.
And you've also, I don't know that we have the sort of the culture anymore of people wanting to sign up to go to war if it came to sort of, battle combat in the way that we've known in the past. Certainly the cyber attacks are there. Are business prepared to speak up against what they see in China, or are they just happy to keep taking the dollar? I know they certainly put pressure on politicians to toe the line. I mean, do you think we can repair the relationship with China in some way to, entente cordiale, to a workable détente, and still not jeopardise speaking up as we should for our national interest?
I think that very much depends on how strong we actually become over the next couple of years. I think we should trade with China because we all know that many, many people, universities, businessmen, miners, this nation depends on trading with China. We should keep trading with China for as long as we should. But at the same time, we should make ourselves extraordinarily strong. And this country has the greatest defence potential of any country outside of Israel. We could do it. At the moment, we decide not to do it.
And provided, Jim, of course, we don't squander all of our God-given benefits, our resources, long-term, cheap, reliable energy, all the things we would need if we're into some sort of conflict, that would sort out the mess of those bloody submarines. I mean, these are the things that need to be done.
That's exactly right. And the basis of national security is a strong economy, because a strong economy gives us dollars, which is the basis of defence, and it gives us social cohesion. So I agree with the Prime Minister. What he's got to do now is get the economy back. What I say is that once we get the economy working, and we can do a bit of this at the same time, we should start now to do the thinking parts of it, is we must get a national security strategy, the overall strategy that covers not just the military, but every part of this nation. We should accept that the Parliament has a role in overseeing that. We just saw the American military do their annual report on China, and it is mind-boggling. The American military's annual report to Congress on China is mind-boggling. Do we ever see that? We see nothing, Peter.
No, this will be the challenge to bring Australia with us to understand, I guess, how serious the relationship, and bring our institutions like universities with us as well, because I think it's sometimes now I wonder what camp some of them in. Got to leave it there, Jim Molan. I'm going to get you back because I want to pick your brains on this mess across the English Channel.
Oh,
the boats
yes.
are really we'll do that next week. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
Terrigal.
Thanks, Peter.